How's it, KP?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Fantastic. Whereabouts are you?
I'm at home. I'm at home. The kids are downstairs going crazy.
Are they?
Yeah.
In Cape Town. Home is Cape Town.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that I'm originally from PE, but I live in Cape Town now.
Amazing. How's South Africa coping with this lockdown? Obviously, I cover it very closely because of all my family in South Africa. But
Yeah.
for everybody watching this from around the world, how is South Africa going?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. The numbers are climbing in Cape Town a bit, and obviously there's a lot of other struggles than people are struggling with getting food and water. A lot of the people don't have water. Places that I've been traveling to, it's been really hard to see. I thought I knew struggle until I see people using water while the dogs are drinking the water, and some kids are bathing on the water. So it's really difficult.
Goodness me. So
Yeah.
it's a real struggle out there for some. Huh? You in a situation in England where it's you got the government that can furlough the staff, furlough or most of your staff. You can cut rates, you can cut taxes, you can do all sorts. But in South Africa, it's a proper struggle.
Yeah, no, it's tough, and I think our government has been doing like great work to try and keep everybody safe. Yeah, so the rest of us in South Africa are also doing our bit, which is, some of us is just by staying at home, and some of us is trying to use our platform to help others.
Where on earth did you get that picture from that you tweeted? You brought that up yesterday. You cleaned me out with that. I was like, where the hell did you find that thing?
So I posted it a long time ago. Yeah, I think it was in 2012 when I met you. I met you at a club in, I think it was in Durban. Yeah, it was
Right,
after one
don't
of the
tell
games.
people we club.
Well, that was then. That was then. I'm sure they know. So yeah, I met you then, and I remember that I had that picture, so I went down to go find it in my Instagram.
Lekker. Now listen, I think we're going to start this off with a real counter punch. Who
Okay.
prepared your Rugby World Cup winning speech? Because that's what's taking you into stardom. Did you have that prepared before
No.
you walked out onto the field? And be honest with me.
No, 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 I'm dead serious. Oh, I mean, you can't prepare something like that because you don't know how things are gonna be
You can prepare for
after the
good and
game.
you can prepare for bad. You must have been
No,
thinking the night before, listen,
I got
if these ugly turn up tomorrow, when they ask me this is what I'm going to say.
no. So I didn't prepare. To be honest, we were in a tough period, I think, as a country, and we're obviously
Yeah.
in Japan, and there was a lot of like gender-based violence and a little bit of like just violence in general in our country, and we're in Japan. And there's not much we could do other than just play as hard as we can for the people at home to try give them something to smile about and give a little bit of hope. And all of that stuff, I just been observing, some of the stuff, like who we are as a team, what we represented, and the different cultures, different races, and just the different people. And it just made me realize this is South Africa. We are actually representing our country right here. And I just spoke on my feeling and my observing and what the stuff that was going on back home. And obviously, it was the first time that so many people in South Africa could see like a rugby game. They saw the semi-finals, and there was homeless people actually given like big screens to watch it, and people were
Yeah.
feeding them, which was quite amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, your story is remarkable. And I think that's why the people were so engaged with this. And that's why the homeless people were so engaged with it. If we go back a little bit of time to when you were growing up, I mean, you came from a very underprivileged background, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did. Well, I would say financially, because I think the way that I was raised, my grandmother, like the time, the support, and the love I got was enough for me at the time. But obviously, struggling with just simple things like having food, which was tough. Electricity was a problem. I
Yeah.
remember doing homework, sitting outside my house using like the light that shines up like the community. I would sit outside and do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so those were tough, and going to bed without food was pretty tough.
Yeah. Um, what would a day in the life of Siya Kolisi have been at the age of, say, 8, 9, 10?
I would remember I used to wake up, go to school, and then do schoolwork, do homework, train for the school, and then I would go and have a meal at school. You get like a slice of bread,
Yeah.
part of milk, and then I would go and play, train in the club rugby, and I would sit there the whole day, whole evening until the first team is finished training. Then I'll go home, and that
Really?
was kind of my way of making sure I don't get involved in other things.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you see, you have a look at it, and you see there are a lot of boxers, and there's a lot of other sports people that have come out and said that to keep themselves away from that that life that they could, or that path that they could have gone down, the path of probably not the greatest path of being getting up to some naughty things.
Mm.
Anthony Joshua, I think he's spoken about getting into boxing just before the Olympics were way back then, and going on and forging a career. Is that
Yeah.
something that you make a conscious decision to say, you know what, I don't want to go down the path of all the naughtiness. I want to try and pick something that I love. Did you always love rugby?
Yeah, so I didn't make like a conscious decision. I just stopped doing whatever else I was doing, all my friends were doing, and I just started loving rugby, and I enjoyed it, and it kept me accountable, and it gave me like I love the feeling of belonging somewhere, and when I wasn't there, my friends would come to my house and be like, "Where were you at training?" And that I
Mm.
enjoyed because I knew they really cared about me. And then I just never looked back. As soon as I got into the groove and sat in and watched the other teams, and I think the love for the game was just more than anything else for me. And because it was in my family, my dad played, my grandfather played, but obviously they never played in the level that I've played
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
What did your mates want you to go and do?
Oh well, we all did things like we would if it's not smoking, uh, and yeah, it was smoking, and
Is it?
yeah, smoking was one of the big
Yes.
things in the township at the time, and it's different things like petrol and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, and a lot of my friends died along the way, which was quite tough.
That must have been quite something for you, though, to see a lot of your friends choose the wrong direction, go down the wrong path, and lose their life, though.
Yeah, that was tough, but I'd already got my bursary to move to Grey in
Mm,
PE, so I didn't go home a lot because I know I stayed at school because I could train and I got a meal every single day. And then I would hear phone calls that this one passed away or this one passed away. It was really tough. And I couldn't even attend the funerals because it was when I was playing or I went on tour somewhere, which was really tough.
yeah. And I suppose you must have had some heroes growing up. Did you watch rugby? Were you able to watch the
Yeah,
Springboks? You just say you don't running water, food, all those things were an issue. I know that well, international rugby's played behind the paywall, isn't it? So did you have the opportunity to watch the Springboks? Did you have any heroes?
Yeah, later in my life, I think when I got to Grey, I started watching regularly, you know. But when I was younger, the first Springbok I ever watched play was Sole Chibilika, who played for the Springboks for a couple of games. And he used to go to school 3 streets away from my house. And I could hear when he was playing, there's always singing. And then I would stand on top of my roof and look up, and I would see a lot of people. I'll get down and then go watch. And
Really?
people used to just come just to watch him play because he was so good. And then he became a Springbok. Obviously, that motivated me. And Coach Stick, who was a Springbok assistant coach, he didn't get a bursary. He made it through the township and became a superstar. He became the captain of the Springbok Sevens team. And then Skouberger, Joe van Niekerk, Bobby Skinstead, and
Mm.
those are the guys that when I started watching regularly, who obviously, yeah, I looked up to.
Amazing, amazing. And Grey College. So you went to Grey College as a youngster, Grey PE as a junior,
Great
then
PE.
Grey College.
I was a great PE boy.
Did you ever play against Maritzburg College, or did you ever? I mean, you probably played against our third team because I don't think I think our
No,
first team would have been too strong for your first
no.
team. So you would have played against our third team. I think
I don't.
I played third team. I think I played against Grey PE first team.
No, no. Not Marisburg. I don't think I did. No, I didn't play against Marisburg in my
We were too
school
strong for
program.
you.
No, they weren't strong for us.
Listen,
We didn't.
Kazi, we played Grey Bloom and we played Uffies. We didn't bother with the
But
riffraff
you
down there in
lost.
Port
But you
Elizabeth.
lost. That's the thing. You
No,
lost.
but no. I never ever lost a game of school rugby in my whole career.
But your
Never lost
first
a
team
game.
lost.
No, maybe the first team. I was third team. I never lost.
But if your first team lose, then the whole school lose. It doesn't matter who else won.
It's
The
true,
rest
isn't
of
it?
the day doesn't matter.
I mean, how crazy is it? There will be people watching this in England. There'll be people watching this all over the world, Australia. Schoolboy rugby is televised in South Africa. That
Yeah,
rivalry. I mean, my wife still cannot believe that I can go back to South Africa. I can meet somebody, and within the first 5 minutes, what school did you go to? And then you can immediately
yeah,
just start hammering each other.
yeah, yeah. So it's so
Crazy.
special. I mean, it's one of those amazing things. That's why I always encourage school kids to enjoy their school career, because it's not the same after, because now
Mm,
you're getting paid and people expect you to be a certain way. Where at school, you're definitely having a crowd coming, and it's just the next level vibe. Then you go under 19,
yeah,
then there's no one there. It's just your parents watching
yeah,
you play. It's an empty
yeah,
stadium.
yeah.
So yeah, school rugby is amazing.
What was the toughest team you ever played against? Apart from Maritzburg College, you wouldn't have played against you clowns. Who was
At
the toughest
school,
school you played against?
school, it was Grey Bloom. We were in 2008. We were unbeaten, and Grey Bloom was unbeaten. So we played at Grey. We had 20,000 people watching. First time I've ever
20,000 people watching.
20,000 people watching. Yeah, and first time I ever cried in a rugby game.
You lost.
After a rugby game, yeah, we lost. I was heartbroken. It was heartbroken.
Would you have
And
cried in Japan last year?
yeah, definitely.
You
I
would have.
would have. Yeah, yeah. It was because, man, it was three. We had, I don't know how many years. I think 2 or 3 years, or a year before Coach Rassi started. The couple of years before that, it was tough for us. I mean, we lost
Chaos, I know.
58. And then you have to come back and play again. And you can feel the people drifting away. The people don't come and watch us. The stadiums were empty. It was really tough. It was really tough for us. And when Coach Rassi came, and him and his coaching staff were able to change things around, it was just next level. And he made us believe, and he had goals. And as soon as we achieved those goals, and we started believing that, you know what, we can do this.
Mm. Why did you choose Cape Town? Why did Cape Town follow straight after Port Elizabeth? Why didn't you go up to the greatest franchise and the greatest sporting rugby franchise in global rugby?
You must, because I went to the right one, to the best one. For me,
No,
this is the
you
best
didn't
one.
go. If you have a look at the current log on the Super Rugby at the moment, who's at the top?
Yeah, there's just a couple of
I'm just,
points on
I'm
top
just.
of
It's a
us.
simple question, Siya. I'm the
Yeah,
interviewer.
okay.
Who's
It's
at the
the
top?
Sharks. It's the
The Sharks.
Sharks.
So
But
why did you not go to the greatest rugby franchise in the world
I
and
believe.
go down to those pretenders in Cape Town?
No, it's amazing here. Beautiful weather, awesome people. Yeah, I love it here, and I think I didn't really choose. Like I wanted to go to different places until I came to Cape Town, and then my agent was like, "This is where you're going. This is gonna be the best place for you. Best decision I've ever made." And the guys
Yeah.
that were here, like Eben, who I played with, Nizam Kar, the Rick Shoulders, Franz Malebe, and most of those guys we played with in the final together at the World Cup, which is quite amazing. So we had formed a
Yeah.
friendship before that.
Yeah. No, Cape Town is a beautiful place. It's a pity they can't play cricket and rugby, but it is
Wow,
beautiful. It is.
wow, shots fired, shots
It's a,
fired.
it's a beautiful place. Would you ever think about coming to play over here at all, or in France?
No, no, not right now.
I'm sure your agent is going to say one day, Sia, that have you seen that euro? Have you seen that pound?
Yeah, but you know what? It's tough for me. I think I mean, everything that I have is here. My family is here,
Sure.
and all like with my foundation now, and all the things that I want to do in my community.
Hmm.
It's really tough. If I go somewhere else, then I'm kind of not only sacrificing my family, or it's all the work that I want to do and the stuff that I want to do in my community. And it will be hard if it will have to be like a, I don't know what will make me go, but I don't know. For now, I'm still signed for another next year as well,
Yeah.
and hopefully things go well. I'm in good shape. I'm still making the national side. Then I think I'll stay a bit longer.
I was going to get onto your family, your wife Rachel, Nicholas, and Keziah. I mean, you are the most incredible family, man. I mean, I know your wife was in Japan. Were your kids in
Yeah,
Japan?
Yeah, they were all in Japan.
Do they understand yet? Do they understand rugby? Do they properly get it? Because I mean, one of the big things in my career is that I never ever. My son, he turned 10 yesterday, but I mean, when I finished my international career, he was 3 or 4, so he never really got to see me walk out at Lords. Or I mean, he
Yeah,
saw me walk out at Lords, but as a baby, he never saw me get to. He saw me in the Sydney Cricket Ground, Newlands, but he didn't really get to understand it.
yeah. No, Nick, I think he just loves being there, being on the field, and
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think it. I think a little bit he's starting to understand it now. And for me, my wife, obviously she understands it all, and
sure.
that's the most important. She's my rock. I mean, she always there for me. She encourages me, and I do my best, man. It's really hard, this to be be a dad and then be a sportsman. When I'm in the
Yeah,
zone, I'm in the zone, and
yeah.
and having them at the World Cup was really amazing, because they went there for the beginning part. Then it started feeling like home, coming back to my hotel room.
Yeah.
So when I leave the room, I'm just in that zone. And then sometimes I might have a horrible day, I have a bad training session. Then I get to the room, my kids are there, and they make you forget about everything else that
Mm.
just happened. So I try and be as best dad as I can be, but I'm still learning. I'm not perfect at all.
How important are family to sportsmen, wife
Uh,
and
for,
children?
yeah. Now, for me, it's like my faith and my family. If that's not going well, then I know I'm not gonna play well on Saturday. You know,
Mm.
I my family knows they're the strong part of my life. That's why my wife tries to make my life so easy in the week, so I can do what I do, and I also mustn't cause cack during the day, so that she's not on my case. So I try and behave as much as I can and do as help as much as I can, so that it can be an easy change when I get to the game. If something goes wrong and I make somebody upset in the house, it becomes really difficult.
Just blame her. It's fine. It's easy.
No, no, I
If you miss a
can't.
tackle, just blame her. It's absolutely fine.
No, no, no. I always try and make things right. I always try and make things right. It's just gonna bug me the whole time.
Brother, it was Mother's Day yesterday. You don't have to be nice today.
No, I have to every day. We're in lockdown. We're together all the time. You gotta make sure that your wife is happy at all times.
This is so true. So true. I can hear one of my little kids is out there screaming at the moment. I hope you can't hear it there on the.
No,
We're
no,
not.
no.
We're not.
My brother just walked in now.
Okay. Where were you when you got your Springbok call up? Who phoned you and where were you? You must remember it.
Oh, where was I? It gets announced. It got announced. You hear, you sit and you wait. You
What? You
hear the
don't get
name.
called by the selectors beforehand?
No, I don't think I did. No, we
Okay.
sit and wait, and you see it on TV. So you would play. I remember the first time I didn't make it when it's 2012, my first Super Rugby season.
Yeah.
We played the Bulls in Loftus, and they announced straight after that. And then there were some
Okay.
guys, yeah, there were some guys who made it in the team, and I was one of the young guns. And that's when I met you. When I
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't part of the team, I was just one of those guys who comes and learns and at training sessions. And then when when I was gonna play my first game, the coach called me aside and told me I'll be on the bench this weekend. And so I could tell my whoever I want to bring and organize flights, because we're in Bobela Stadium, which is quite far in Pumalanga. So I organized that, and yeah, and then my dad came.
You're much cuter then, weren't you? You were shaving.
Yeah,
You had a
no,
little bit of a thing now. I mean, what's happened to you? You don't blame lockdown. I mean, I've
no,
got rid of all my hair. I can at least shave.
yeah, but I can't cut my hair off. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right anymore. And my
That
wife
picture
doesn't
that you
like.
posted yesterday, you look great.
No, I don't think so. I think this is me. No, this is me from now on.
Your South African Springbok captaincy. Who called
Yeah.
you? Who told you?
Oh, we were sitting.
That didn't get announced on TV.
It did. It did.
What, before you knew?
No, it's gonna. No, I
Yeah.
explained it how I knew I was the captain. So we came to camp and we were sitting in a team meeting first, like, and then greet each other and all the kind of stuff, and then coach announced like, is like, okay, the captain for the first game, which was Wales in America, is Peter Steph, and then Siya will be the captain for the next 3 games. Just like that in front of everyone. No warning before. So I just said that my color changed. And I said and just looked up. And I looked around. Then the guys, when the guys are like saying, well done, I'm just looking at the coach. He's like, are you alright? And I looked around and I'm like, Siya, are you alright? I'm like, yeah,
Seriously?
sure. Yeah, that's how it happened. It's crazy. And I just said that, you don't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was walking around, I'm like, nah, this is a joke.
And did you have any aspirations to be a captain? Did you want to captain the Springboks?
I was a kid, I never dreamt I mean, it would have been crazy for me to think like that. And then like now, when I became captain of the Stormers, obviously you think about it and stuff, but to me, the most important thing was always just to make the Springbok team and play for the Springbok. And it still is right now. If everything gets taken away, as long as if I'm working on and still being part of the team, because I think it's one of the greatest honors.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think that leads straight into my next question. Leadership. What is your leadership? Did you get guided on leadership at all? Did you seek advice from anybody, or did you just say, I'm only going to be as good as my teammates are, try and just make them as happy as possible? Or in rugby, is it different? Does Coach Rassie actually lead the team?
So obviously the coach is a coach. He has the final say, but just on the field, obviously you have to lead. And I believe, I'm not one of those guys who are very confident or strong personalities where I want to take, I want to be the alpha male in the room. I really believe in shared leadership, and I know I've got like strong leaders around me in the team, and they help me quite a lot. And I was quite honest at times. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. Can somebody like come step up? And a guy like Dwayne, Andre, and even was captain the team, they always help. And Warren Whiteley, when he was there, so I would use that kind of leadership. And Coach Rassie made it so good for me. He wanted to take the pressure off me so I could focus on my playing, and that was the most important thing. And talking to the ref, which is quite an important part of the game, to make sure how you manage a ref and talk to the ref to make sure that you get you get a fair calls, you know what I mean? And then we had other leaders in the team where, for a certain aspect, someone else is a leader there and there, maybe break down and that. Then I get to ask them, so I don't have to speak up over everything.
Do you practice? You talk about that there. I just wrote down there straight away. I said the referee. There is so much leading into internationals. I mean, Yaku Toilet Paper and a few of them, they get hammered. I mean, if I see he's reffing a Sharks game, I'll clean him out on a Friday. If I see he's reffing a game that I really want them to win, then I'll just finish him before the game. Do you guys actually practice in a specific way because you know that a ref is going to ref in a certain and blow in a certain way?
No, you kind of study and see what they do, and you kind of do research, and the coaches help with a lot of that, and then you prepare. You see what it blows on, and then you also see what the other team does, and you try to put your points ahead and talk to the ref and see how you can be benefit on the day.
And who makes that final decision whether to go for 3 points or whether to slot it and get the line out and push over for the try?
Well, on the field it's me, but I'll obviously if I'm not sure, I'll get an opinion of another player.
Who's the big guy you go to? Please don't tell me Vermeulen is your guy. I mean, I played golf with him.
It's all the guys. Andre as well. If Andre can kick it, he doesn't even have to ask. He knows it. We'll go for
He just wants points.
We all want points.
Pollard, the pretty boy, just wants his own points.
No, he's not just a pretty boy. He's got heart. Have you seen that man tackle?
Yeah, he's proper. He is a proper player. Proper player. No, mate, the guys that you had in that final, and I see there's so many people telling me to ease off you and what was the Rugby World Cup final? I can just say it to everybody's faces right now. When England plays South Africa, whoever wins, I support. There you have it. I'm allowed to. Okay, I'm a dual national. I was born in South Africa. I lived in South Africa for 20 years. I've lived in the UK now for 20 years. So whoever plays and whoever wins, I win. Don't worry about who I'm supporting on the day.
First, who do you support on the day? I want to know.
You want to know who I support?
Yeah.
The winner.
No, don't say they're winning before the game starts. Before the game starts.
I'll WhatsApp you after. I don't want to cause chaos here.
I'll share that. I'll share that on Instagram.
Now, brother, if the Springboks are playing, I want the Springboks to win. End of story. End of story. That's
against anyone.
Against anyone, bud. I mean, cricket's a different thing. That was my job. That was who I played for. That's who gave me the most unbelievable opportunities in life. Cricket is a completely different thing. But my passion for Springbok rugby and watching the Springboks in '95 in the Rugby World Cup and all that kind of stuff, it is what it is. You can't change who I was for 19, 20 years because I went and applied my trade somewhere else.
No, that's awesome.
So there you have it.
The people are happy back at home.
There's the headline, unfortunately. Who is the fittest in your Springbok squad?
Jesse Kriel from Durban.
Kriel. I mean, Jesse, if you're watching here, I know that he follows me on Instagram. We chat and stuff. Just put your shirt on. I mean, the geezer never wears a shirt. He embarrasses all of us, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know. That's why, I mean, you'll never see me topless. With a body like that, I mean, I wouldn't also. Yeah, he works really hard. He's so professional. And Altino's also, and then Peter Steph. I have never seen person who goes so hard in the game like that.
Really? Yeah, he's
like for so long. Yeah, and Franco Mosset also. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I can't anymore now look and the guys are just still going like that. Yeah.
It must be amazing to be able to train with players like that, learn from players like that. And also, even though you're captain, you can still be inspired by the way that guys are so professional.
No, I do. I get inspired all the time. Like, guys will come and call me to come do an extra gym session. Or whenever we get to a hotel, some guys will be in the gym already working. And it also makes you want to go as well, which is quite amazing. But when you get to that level, if you're not professional, it won't work.
Sure. And we're obviously been in lockdown. South Africa's had much stricter measures than here in the UK. For instance, we've been allowed to exercise once a day. But in South Africa, you guys have been completely locked away for 6, 7 weeks now. My family and all my mates, they've been locked away. Who in the Springbok team do you reckon is hating this lockdown the most? Who's the geezer that would be wanting to dodge and weave and be out and about?
Elton loves training. He loves kicking a ball. He always wants to be training. I think if he doesn't have a proper field to train it right now, he will be hating it because he really loves being on he trains. He wants to run. He wants to just be able to move. I've been speaking to him and he just wants to get on the field.
Amazing. The best game of rugby that you've ever played personally, you yourself. What's from a technical point of view? That's been your best game. Not winning the Rugby World Cup. We all know that's a great team effort. What's been your best game of rugby you've played technically?
I think against France in Durban. I think a couple of years ago we played a
again Durban. No wonder.
In Durban. In Durban, that was one game I won't forget. And my first game. I think my first game I got man of the match. I think.
And I think there's a lot of people around the world who don't get to play international sport and hear a lot of sportsmen talking about getting in the zone. And you talked about getting in the zone earlier when you were referencing your family leading into a test match or into a big game. Can you get into the zone in rugby? Like when I'm batting, the ball starts to just look massive and I just think, right, I'm just going to hit you. It doesn't matter where you're bowling to me now. I'm going to knock you here, there and everywhere. And you can be so confident and you can do absolutely everything. Is it? I can't imagine it's the same in rugby, or is it the same in rugby?
Yeah, for me, so it's a whole week, the prep for me. We get like videos and we're training. You know, you start visioning what you want to do in the game, and it's crazy. You watch the clip so much and you do it over and over again. by the time it gets to Saturday, you're like, you've seen when the opposition does a move, and you're like, I've seen this before. You know exactly what's coming, and that's it for me. And yeah, I just try and be like as prepared as I can, and it's mostly you train less in the field the closer you get to the final, but then you watch more stuff on the videos, and you just play it in your head, and then yeah, and then come Saturday, you just don't want to. On Friday already, I just don't want to do anymore because I know like I've been prepared enough.
But the preparation is one thing when you're in the actual game. Because I mean, I can prepare for a test match against South Africa, so I know what Dale's going to do. I know what Mornay is going to do. I know what Callis is going to do. I understand what the ground that I'm going to play at Newlands. So I understand the wicket. I understand all that. But when you actually get out into the middle, and I'll go and bat there, and I'll face Dale, and he'll be running in, and I'll just go. Or on other days, you're not in the zone, and you just go. And you
Yeah,
nick off straight to slip. Can you get into that zone in rugby where you're making every tackle, you're getting every
yeah,
ball, you're getting the ruck over? Do you get into that zone where just
yeah,
the game is so slow and you're in so much control?
yeah. No, 100%. There are those days, and
Okay.
there's some days where it just goes horrible.
Yeah.
Until I remember when I played against France. We played against France in France where we won in the last minute. I just couldn't make a tackle. The guys were running over me. You know when you just have a horrible day, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I was taken off that game. I was just horrible. I couldn't get in. And you try, and then I got a little bit better, but I mean, it's too late, you know?
Mm.
And I got taken off, and yeah, it was tough.
Happier memories take you back to the Rugby World Cup final. And there was a lot of chat after the Rugby World Cup final. Everybody thought Eddie Jones was, well, and he is. Eddie is. He's an amazing coach, and he has great technical knowledge, and he has a great understanding of the game. The story about Faf de Klerk and Yankees going and doing a lot of box kicking before the game to show England that you were going to box kick for 80 minutes and never kicked a ball into the box. Was that a tactical play from South Africa?
I actually don't. I don't know about that. We to be honest, we played the same from the beginning of the World Cup till the end. We just got better and better and better in executing, and we. A lot of people think we had a different game plan. We didn't have a different game. We played the same. We just got better and better. We just had more opportunities to play in the final.
So you didn't kick as much in the final.
We did. We did. It's just that when we kicked the ball, we got them 10 overs in their half, so we could play, and we've
Right.
got opportunities,
Right.
so we could play. Yeah.
Right. And who did you guys want to play in the final? Because I know I spoke to Eddie before the final, and I said, who do you want to play in the final? And he said, we want to play South Africa. Who did you guys want to play in the final? Did you want to play against England?
We didn't have we thought we'd play. I mean, maybe New Zealand or England, and it was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But there wasn't a team that you wanted to play. You were like,
No,
we want to
no.
play England.
We wanted to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to win.
And Wales? Talk to me about
Yeah.
Wales.
Yeah,
Were Wales a better team than England in the World Cup?
No, I wouldn't say so. It's just the way of playing. You know, they kick a lot of the ball, and so did we. And they try to get you to make mistakes, and we obviously were very patient, and we pushed us out. We played the same game as them, and it's all about endurance and patience. And I think we're patient enough that game, and we took the opportunities that we had to in the game.
Yeah. Who was your
But
toughest opponent?
It's hard to play against them. It's really hard because they're very
Wales.
good. They're good at their kicking game, and they're very patient for long in the game. So some teams will normally just get tired of the kicking ball and try to play, and that's what they want. They want to play from your half.
So it's a very tactical game, isn't it? You've got to have a coach that is up there, that is monitoring things and telling you patience, patience, patience. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm very close to Butch, as you know, and cracky. I mean, I went to school with Butchie. I speak to Butchie. I see Butchie a lot, and I mean the battering that oak has gone through in his career. I mean, you guys are smashing yourselves up every single weekend. What is the longevity? I know that I've said it actually a couple of times. Rugby players should be the highest paid sportsmen in the world because of what you put your bodies through.
Yeah, yeah, we love it. I mean, we love it, but it depends where you play. I think some guys play longer in Japan and a little bit longer in the UK, but it's tough in South Africa because it's fast rugby and it's also as physical. And I mean, for me, it's really tough to play against other South African teams. It's
The
because you
Sharks.
play no all the South African teams, not just the Sharks, because it's really hard because you're all competing to play for the Springboks. You're competing for the jersey, and it becomes personal.
Yeah. What was I going to say? The new coach, Jock Nienaber, thoughts? You happy with that? You happy with that
I think
appointment?
I think Jock is amazing. He knows all of us. He's worked with all of us. I think every single guy inside who's playing in Super Rugby he's worked with since we were younger. I mean, he was my coach when I first came to Western Province. So
Oh,
I've known him
brilliant.
for long. Yeah, I've known him for long. I mean, he's worked with Coach Rassi since I know Coach Rassi. Coach Rassi gave me the contract out of school from Eastern Province to move to Western Province. So they've been working together, and he's amazing. He knows how to get the best out of players, and I think it's really going to be amazing.
Fantastic. Oh, I never knew that. I never knew that at all. There's another, is it a little bit to go here, bud. Uniting South Africa. In 1995, we saw Mandela and my good buddy Francois Pienaar, and they talked about uniting South Africa. With the struggles that South Africa are going through, do you think that what happened last year is still uniting South Africa?
Yes, I think so. And I think because, I mean, we all working, us as players, because we had the whole of South Africa behind us last year.
Mm,
And now we are starting with our own thing now to actually start supporting people because we know we mean more than just a rugby game. We know the history that rugby has in South Africa, and we want to keep that going, and we want people to know as well when it's the getting good gets tough for them that we're here for them as well. That's why we are all working so hard off the field to make sure that we play our part, we use our platform, and we use our personal sponsors to try and help the people of South Africa. Because at the end of the day, no matter what we do or say, without the people, we can't do what we love.
mm. And the future of South African rugby, are you guys thinking we've got a young squad here now, we're targeting the next Rugby World Cup? Do you think that far ahead, or do you just think about the All Blacks and Nelspruit in a couple of months, if that? I mean, mate, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think foreign travel is going to happen for a while, but I hope it does. Or do you think about the All Blacks in September, or do you think about the Rugby World Cup and planning for the next Rugby World Cup?
Now we think about staying fit right now. That's what we're doing. We're still working with the coaches. They're setting us programs. They check up on us and on our well-being and our families as well. So we have like meetings on Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and we just chat, and then they tell us whether they need us to be. And every single rugby player has had to face this challenge of lockdown, and we have to
Mm.
make sure we use what we have right now. So we just want to make sure we're fit and ready to play when this is lifted and we can play against other teams. And we just want to be consistently in a great place and be the best and just remain there because we want to be a great team again.
Mm, mm. And you talk about fitness. How's your knee? Are you good to go? I saw you this morning running with a mask on.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm good. My knee is good. So I'll get a check as soon as they allow the physios to be able to start working. I'll go get a check, but I've been running without a brace or strapping, and I'm running
Well done.
freely.
Well done.
Thank you.
What's been your darkest moment in your career? I know I've asked quite a few sportsmen that I've interviewed. Virat Kohli's gave me one which people never knew about. What has been your darkest moment in your career?
You mean uh,
Toughest. It can either
toughest?
be form, it could be that injury on your knee.
Uh,
You're riding on cloud nine at the moment. No one in rugby in the world is on the level that you're at the moment. And then some geezer knocks your knee over and you can't play rugby.
yeah, I think it was not making the teams. I think a couple of years ago. You know, when you start everything goes well your first year. I thought
Yeah.
my first year was one of my best seasons in Super Rugby. And then you start getting recognition, and then you get that gets to your head, you know. And then I just was hitting the clubs too hard, and then my form
Golf
just
clubs. Golf clubs.
you can yeah, I like that. Yeah. And then my form started going down like that, and I wasn't making the teams, you know, and I was getting injured. I remember I did both of my knees at one stage. Then broke my my thumb as well. So that was really tough. And then I had to start obviously um, realizing what's important to me. And I think after the previous World Cup, then I started focusing on my faith, because I believe like it's just something I could rely on. That's always there. It's constant for me, you know, more than anything else. And now and then I had to stop drinking. So I cut that out of my life because it doesn't make me a better person.
You don't drink now?
No,
Not
no,
even a nice glass of red or a
no,
beer
I
around
can't.
at a braai?
No, no, I don't. I don't at all, because it's yeah. Because you think you can manage until you're with your boys, and then you just you know you go crazy, and it doesn't do any good for me. So I've stopped, and I want to. I'm not saying I've stopped forever. I want to see how long I can go for. I don't want to say forever.
When you start drinking again, can you do that vodka egg sugar challenge for me, please? Have you
Okay,
can you
okay.
have you've seen that?
Yeah, I've seen, but yeah, it doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good, but I won't be able to. I don't know. I don't want to be to drink again, because it's just, you know, it affects everybody else around me, you know. And I think that's one of the things.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll be very selfish, because it's either gonna be having a good time and sacrificing my kids or my family for one or two good
Yeah.
glasses. And there's nothing wrong with drinking if you can control it and be good with it. You
Sure.
know what I mean? Yeah. So I had
Have
to
you got
make
one of
that
those
choice.
obsessive personalities that you just, if you start something, that's you. That's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that
uh,
is the problem. So that I rather say, you know what, let me just rather just stop it,
mm.
and it's better that way.
Fair play to you. That's an incredible amount of strength that you can
Yeah,
have.
but it's still tough. It is tough, because I
Yeah.
mean we're exposed to all these things, and you go to places, and you know people will offer, you know, and it
Yeah.
doesn't make it easier. But
Oh.
when I say no, I feel good the next day. I can still play with the kids and do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, I think actually at the moment, and I said it to my wife the other day, because at the start of lockdown, we were clupping a bottle of wine every single night. We're like, oh my word, how long was this going to last? And then when the schools went back a couple of weeks ago, I just decided my cheat day was going to be on a Saturday, and I took it pretty deep last Saturday. And on Sunday morning, I was like, I don't
Yeah.
think I had enough fun on the Saturday night to warrant how I felt on the Sunday. So this
It's
this
always like
Saturday,
that.
I had two. I mean, I did the Dan Nichols show with Dan, and he did that Dan Loves Wine show.
Yeah.
And I had two sips of a Chardonnay, two sips of a Cab Sav. I walked through. I finished the Cab Sav. I threw the rest of the way, and I was like, no, I don't want to feel cocked tomorrow. No interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
That
interest.
that's one thing like I don't miss the next morning. The
Yes.
next morning, and
The
then you hear
Babala.
the kids come shout your name.
Have we have we still got you? You're still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, paused.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's mental that you can get yourself into that sort of position, and then the kids know. So it's the next
Yeah.
morning where there's something about them. If you've been drinking, they're up at 5, but
Yeah. They
they're up
tell
at
you know,
5.
and then the wife will be like, "Go, it's your
Yeah,
kids."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Anyway,
How old are your
anyway,
kids now?
mine's 10. Dylan turned 10 yesterday, and Rosie's 4, going on 14.
Oh, happy
Yeah.
happy belated birthday to Dylan.
Thanks, brother. One more question I'm going to ask you, and I want to ask you about all the amazing work that you're doing for South Africans. I mean, I've been trying to well, not trying to, but you respond very late to messages because you're all around the country at the
Yeah.
moment, feeding so many people. and it's inspiring to see how you're using your profile for good. And there's a lot of sportsmen doing it. There's a lot of amazing people raising money for the NHS here, in America, in Europe. But in South Africa, you've really taken this on, haven't you?
Yeah, no, I definitely have because, yeah, for me, because to be honest, if I didn't get the bursary and I didn't make it in rugby, I probably wouldn't be. I would have been one of those people who were getting the packages from the people from the donations and coming from the township, I know exactly how the community is. You know, we're in lockdown now. Where when I was younger, I would probably go to my neighbor and ask some of my friends or for food or whatever they had for me to eat. And now I know how that is. And now we're telling people, we're encouraging people to stay home. So that's why I really take a lot of pride in what I'm doing. I want to go and make sure I go and I make sure that the food gets to the right people, and because there's a lot of, some people can use this opportunity to try gain stuff for themselves, and I want to make sure that the people that are trusting me with their funding, that the money really does go to the people, or the food goes to the people.
So you take the food directly into the townships and into the rural
Yeah,
areas to make sure that the people there get everything. Because I've seen social media is a cesspit. I mean, I don't think social media has been great during this lockdown at all. It gives too many people the opportunity to either be stupidly positive or throw around conspiracy theories or be incredibly negative. And
yeah,
um, I mean, your stuff that you're doing, though, has been really positive in terms of making sure that stuff does get to people. When you see sometimes on social media that a lot of this, some of the stuff in South Africa ends up being sold that was meant to be donated.
yeah. No, it's tough. That's why, like, myself and Rachel have been just pushing on it to make sure we will just want to be transparent with the people that are giving the funds so that they can see. That's why if they want to know what's going on, we show them, and we get to the people ourselves, and we can say we were there, we saw it happen, and a lot of the people in South Africa have been backing and supporting us, and we don't care how small or how big the funding is. We just want other people to also get involved, because the way that the people back us when we play, we want to be able to give back and do the same. And doing work with Wade van Niekerk, who came to join in the previous one. I did some
Sure.
with Faf as well, and even Ezebes have been doing his own one as well. And there's a lot of other guys doing this stuff, and it's good to see, that. And we want people to know that first of all, we're human, and we understand, and we care, and we appreciate their support as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing because a lot of people think that sportsmen aren't human. They don't feel the emotions
Yeah,
and they don't see everything that's going on because they're always put on a pedestal. And
yeah.
it's brilliant, buddy. So
No, it's great,
I
and
love it,
because
mate.
we also, like, the team is also doing something now. The Springbok team, which is gonna be released soon. So I'm really excited for that. So, like, we're gonna show support to the people of South Africa, and we're gonna find ways to raise money. But it's not out yet; it's gonna come soon. So I'm really looking
Beautiful.
forward to that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. I got some questions. We asked a load of people about the questions, and I've got a few questions just whack off to you. Kan je Afrikaans praat? Wakolom is Zulu? English?
Ek verstaan Afrikaans. Ek kan nie so goeie praat nie. Zulu ek verstaan 'n bietjie as well. Die avakancane, but I can't speak Zulu.
What's your home language?
Xhosa.
Xhosa.
isiXhosa, yes.
You and Makaya?
Yes, yes.
Mm.
And Lucanio from the Sharks.
Yeah. There. I'm loving all your references to Durban. I'm loving all your references to the Sharks.
I'm not
You know
hinting
deep down,
anything. I'm not hinting anything. I'm a Stormer by heart.
you might be a Stormer by heart, but you know that the number one franchise out there is something. You've spoken more about the Sharks than you have about the Stormers in this
Uh,
interview, which is great.
you are confusing the people right now.
I'm not confusing them. They've heard it and they can go and rewind and listen to it again. I'm sure they'll hear exactly the same thing. So anybody in Durban watching this and anybody from the Sharks, you know he's got a soft spot for you. Favorite other sport?
Sure, soccer, but I watch everything else. I love soccer. I'm a Liverpool fan in England, and my kid's a Chiefs fan in South Africa.
Why Liverpool?
Steven Gerrard.
Mate, you know that, you know, I saw your stuff with Liverpool and I saw Klopp
Why? Yeah,
chatting to you and stuff. I could very easily organize for you to speak to um, somebody who is a lot greater than Klopp, who manages a much better football team than Klopp, who would
better than Klopp.
love to spend a little bit of time with you, Mr. Lampard. He's a very close friend of
Frank.
mine. Um,
So you're a Chelsea fan.
Monster Chelsea fan.
I love Liverpool. I respect Mr. Lampard. He does amazing work. But
Mm.
I love Liverpool and I love Klopp. I think it's amazing when I met him. The way that he just made everybody feel important. He spoke to every single person in my table. I met him in Cape Town. I waited for him outside the bathroom.
Did you?
Yeah. I was so shy. I didn't know how to approach him. So I knew his
Did he
manager.
recognize you?
Yeah, I knew his manager, but I didn't know that he would he would know me. So I called his manager. I'm like, listen here, Mr. Klopp is here. I don't know how to ask him for a fee. As I'm talking to him, he came out. I just said, sir, here, please speak to this guy. He's like, what's going on? And then he starts speaking. He's like, what's going on? And then he starts speaking German. He's like, okay, okay. And he puts down the phone. He's like, bro, I know who you are. You could have just come in and spoken to me. And then he came, brought his wife, brought his friend, and he spoke. Faf was there. Faf had no idea what was going on because he doesn't watch soccer.
Fucking
Yeah.
his G-string.
Wow.
Okay, well, we just leave it there. Liverpool, I've got no interest in Liverpool, and I don't think anybody else has any interest apart
They
from
do.
you
Wait,
and
yeah,
everybody
wait for
living in.
Nickel. Wait for Nickel just said, the world record holder just said, yeah, that Liverpool is amazing.
Mate, Graham Smith also is a Liverpool man, and what Smith knows, what Van Niekerk knows, and what Kolisi knows about football is something incredibly dangerous. So,
Liverpool is amazing, and we're gonna get the title this year, whether
have
you
you been
like
to
that or
Liverpool?
not. Yeah, I was there.
Of course
That,
you did. You did that whole world tour, didn't you? You went to
yeah,
America. I mean, you were with, oh, you were all sorts of people. But you didn't
yeah.
go to did you go to the Shark Tank?
Why would I do that? It is closed.
That should have been the start of your world tour, brother. The
No,
Shark Tank.
Mampimpi was there.
Mampimpi is mine
Yeah.
and my son's favorite rugby player.
How amazing is Mampimpi? How
Just
fast
so
is
good.
Mampimpi?
No. That's crazy.
But he looks like he's jogging. I've seen him in training, man. I tried to catch him. It's a joke. I mean, if Cheslin says Mampimpi is fast, then you know.
Amazing, eh? But I mean that final try, the
Yeah,
handling, and
yeah,
then the wheels.
yeah. I know you would have been proud of that because it's two guys from Durban.
Mate, if it wasn't for Durban, me and you wouldn't be
Please
chatting,
stop.
but mate,
Please stop.
we would not be chatting if it wasn't for Durban.
Well, goodness.
What's your favorite other sport?
Soccer.
Soccer. What's
Yeah.
your? I'm trying to guide you into talking about golf. You know, mine's golf.
I don't know how to play, but I do love watching.
Okay.
I've tried to play. I'll
So
try send you a
we're
video.
getting there.
Yeah, I'm horrible. I can't hit the ball straight, and I try and hit it as hard as I can, and it falls right next to me. It's embarrassing. Ask Dwayne, when we played with each other, he had to ask me to stop playing.
I hosted the Springboks here at Wentworth last year when you guys came and played your thing and you didn't turn up.
Why do you think I didn't turn up?
Well, I needed somebody to carry my bag, bro.
Wow.
Jean de Villiers did. Jean de
But he
Villiers
can play.
he walked the whole golf. He didn't play. He walked the whole golf course. He was picking clubs up and he was doing all sorts. That's a leader. Siya, that's a leader. You got to get in with your golf buddies.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I watch soccer in my hotel room.
Should sport get back going again? Last couple of questions. These are from the fans.
Yeah.
Should sport get going again as soon as possible? What do you think?
I would love to play, but I think honestly the most important thing is the safety of people. And that's, yeah, I would really love to play. And obviously, if it's safe enough, yeah, it would be amazing because I think it will also give people something, like, you know, that good feeling, something to look forward to in the weekend. But as long as if it's safe and the people are safe and people are being fed, and people, you know, because a lot of people are suffering as well. That's what we're thinking about. But I think the sooner we help one another. The sooner we all reach out and help, it's the sooner we're gonna keep people at home and
Yeah.
make sure people are looked after their needs, and then we can get back to playing again in future.
Last two questions. Your toughest opponent. Who's the
Um,
geezer that you've stood on the field and you've just gone, oh, not you again?
it was
From the
Peter Steff.
Sharks.
Peter Steff. He played for the Sharks. We played at Newlands. He knocked me out and he cut my eye. I think it's this side. Yeah, that's him over there. John Daisel from the Sharks. Willem Alberts from the Sharks. Dwayne from Newland. I remember last year he ran at me. I didn't know where to tackle him. It was in the Super Rugby. We lost that game very badly. Eben at training for the Stormers. This is training at the Stormers. He ran at me on a Thursday at Newlands. He ran over me twice. And we must still talk. And then Cheslin couldn't stop laughing. I was so upset. It was,
That's actually what I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you this now and then your last question. What do you, when a guy like Eben Etzebeth or Dwayne Vermeulen is running at you, what is going through your brain to say, I'm going to run at this guy and I'm going to absolutely smoke him? Like, where does it come into your brain? Is it just a rugby brain? Is it just, what is it?
I think you just have it in you. Because you know he's gonna he's gonna run over you. He's gonna run over you, or you're gonna do something. But I remember Dwayne running. I think it was two or 3 years ago. He ran last year. He ran at me, but he ran so low. I had no place to hit, so I just threw my body. And it's one of those things. But at least we both fell. If he ran over me and carried on running, that's really embarrassing. When he doesn't even lose momentum.
Is there somebody out there that you think, no thanks? Even at practice, or is there any?
Yeah, because I was like, okay, cool. It's practice. He's my buddy. We'll be good. My goodness me. And then he laughed. That's what broke me. Then he laughed, and I look at him like, you don't do that. He's like, he's like, sorry, and then he did it again.
Practice tough, play easy, baby.
Yeah. Well.
Have you heard that before?
I was negative, yeah. Our trainings are hard. I was so negative after that. I told him, you've just broken my spirit. I don't feel confident for the game this weekend.
Last one, former Springbok rugby hero. Did you have it? Who's a former Springbok rugby hero?
No, I have a lot. It's John, Brian, Skulk, and Joe van Niekerk. I've been talking to John Smith.
Skulkberg and not Brits, please.
Both. They're both amazing.
Brits?
Yeah, Brits is amazing. He's one of the happiest people I've ever met.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
He finds the most positive things when you see no hope in this situation, you'll find something to smile about.
He's a beauty.
No, he's amazing.
Brother, you've been amazing. And the work that you're doing has been amazing. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. It was awesome. I really did enjoy the chat. It's been special. And thank you for all that you do as well for our wildlife. I know I've seen the work that you do. It's amazing. And I really do love the wildlife. I was watching Singita. They went on a live. And I know you've got your own place that I must still come visit when you're back in South Africa.
Anytime you want, buddy. It's there for you.
Thank you so much, KP.
I think what we can all take away from this interview is that you might be playing for the Sharks for the next year or two. No. So it was lovely to chat to you.
My Sharks
love you, brother.
Send me messages. Love you too, brother. Thank you so much. Keep strong. Cheers.